Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 7 o'clock on Sunday the 20th of June. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Oh, here we are down on the land. It's a bit of a wet morning this morning. Had more rain overnight. No thunderstorm still. I really do want a thunderstorm. Sounds a bit strange to say, but the air just needs clearing. You know how you get those like headachy days with the pressure of the air? Last few days it's been like that, and we could do with a bit of a storm just to clear it out. This grass I did yesterday, not looking too bad now. It was a nightmare getting through this patch, particularly was really well overgrown, and you can see around the edge of the aggregate pile just how tall that was. Grass is still on the ground actually, because I had the collection box open because it was just clogging and clogging. But it's done, which is what counts. No clue what we're going to get done today. This weather seems to be set for the day. It is forecast more rain, so I doubt highly I'll be getting anything much done outside. I've seen a rabbit, look. Can you see it? Look at that cheeky bugger. Major cull required here. Sorry, I digress. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to get done today. I think it'll be a bit of a pottering day today, and predominantly inside. But as usual, I'll keep you posted with whatever it is I do get done today. First things first, as usual, sort the little chicks out. They do like this mixed seed. They really do. There's a huge pile there and they're scratching away at it. Oh dear. It's nice to see a bit of peace and calm after the initial chaos of me turning up at the door, where they all congregate and try and fight with me as I go into the coop. They all want to be first. Talking about the coop, let's have a little look. I'm not really expecting much this morning because obviously I cleared out yesterday when I left. There's the usual mess that'll need tidying up. Food and water's alright. I'll top that up before I go because it does have to last until Tuesday. Yeah, no surprise, nothing in there, usual debris, nothing in there. Oh, but there's one in there, look. I think I might be tempted to leave that there to just encourage them this morning. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I'll go get my coffee. No sign at all of the sun. It should be there, and it isn't. Well, let me get my little carton of seed. It's nice though, the grass is under control, which is what I always panic about. Apart from that solitary rabbit up at the field, no signs of them in the garden area, but we'll take a little look at that later. For now I'm going to grab my coffee. Well, good morning. It's Sunday already. It feels strange actually today because I had that cheeky day off on Friday. It feels like Monday and I shouldn't be here. But I am. I suspect it won't be the day though. Looking at the weather outside, it is grey miserable and keeps spitting with rain. So I'll not be doing much outside today, I don't think. But wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great weekend and kicking back, having a bit of a relax, doing a bit of updating on your preps, whatever it is. I hope you're having a great weekend. In terms of what I'm up to here today, there's a few bits and pieces of planting that I'd like to get done. Pop some more seeds in and take a look at those seedlings in the garden room. Morning, cockerel. I was just listening before I turned the camera on. I could hear lots of clucking coming out of the nest boxes. So that little egg that I left this morning might have done the trick. They're already producing. Yeah, so I'll take a look at the seedlings. I'll do a little bit in the polytunnel, but not a great deal of stuff. There is a frame, it's like a garden arch made out of metal tubing that's been sat in my cabinet for, must be 6 or 7 months now. And I keep looking at it, and the only reason that I've pulled it out on the floor today is because when I put all of that corn in the cabinet yesterday, all these tubes were on the floor, and I pulled them out to make space for the new bags of corn and chicken feed. And I thought, yeah, I'll definitely do that tomorrow. So it is laid out on the floor. There must be about 50 tubes, small tubes that all interlock together, a little bit like the polytunnel frame, to make this arch, and no instructions as to how it assembles. So I'm going to do that at some point today, and a couple of other little maintenance type things in and around the cabin. That won't make for exciting viewing. So apart from this cabin chat, I'm not sure that there'll be a great deal in the video today, if indeed it goes up. Talking about videos, yesterday's video took forever to load up. It was over an hour, and I cut it back to about 55, 56 minutes, something like that, I think. Just to get it under that hour, because for some reason anything that's over an hour, I have endless problems. It stops halfway through the upload, it spits it out, it does all manner of weird things. It still took forever. It was going all the way through the night, and it didn't actually go up until I think it was about 6:30, 6:45 this morning, something like that. So apologies for the lateness of the video. It is out of my hands completely. It's my rubbish internet connection that does that. Anyway, I digress. Today, in terms of cabin chat, I just wanted to reiterate a point that I make endlessly in my videos, and that's about not neglecting your preps, because I know I keep saying it, there is a crisis on the way. We had a test run last year of a proper crisis, particularly in terms of the way that governments handled the COVID issue. We were already due a problem with the economy because of all of the endless printing of fake money that's been going on for the last few years. Well, since the big housing crash of 2008, really. Governments just keep adding to their debt pile and kicking out all of this fake money and just spreading it around to try and boost the economy and make it seem as if everything is booming and great, when in reality it isn't. It's a bit like people putting guilt on cheap wooden furniture to make it look expensive and exotic. It doesn't last long before it all rots away. So yeah, there are lots of issues kicking around, many of which have been caused in some way by COVID. They're all combining now to make this big problem issue of the supply of everyday essentials and the price of everyday essentials. I did pop a little news article on the community tab the other day, specific to the UK, and it was by an organisation, a trade body for supermarkets and shops, and it talked about 3 or 4 different issues which are all coming together to make supply shortages and to add to the increase in price that we're already seeing through normal day-to-day inflation. So if you haven't had a chance to read that, have a little look at that, because the problem isn't confined to the UK or to Europe. It is a global issue with developed countries. We totally depend on timed availability to keep our system going. And if there's a glitch in any way in that timed structure, and that could be the availability of a delivery vehicle or a collection vehicle, it could be, I've mentioned shipping containers for goods imported from the Far East. If they're stuck in the West, there are no containers to fill in the East to send us a constant supply of the things that we're asking for. The labour market has took a massive hit through 2020. Lots of people have been made redundant, or companies have gone out of business, and there was a big increase in the number of people that were not in work. And government responded to that by topping up the welfare benefits and payments that these people, I was going to say enjoy, but they do enjoy them at the expense of everybody else. And these people now are actually not going to work by choice. They're looking at the amount of money they're being given by government and the benefits, such as the government paying the rent on their house, or not having to pay for medical expenses, things like prescription medication. So people are just not going to work. They're sitting back and thinking, well, for the sake of an extra £10 a week, £20 a week, I may as well just sit and take the money and not go to work. So there's a whole raft of different things that are all coming to a head now to cause supply chain disruption. So that's affecting availability and it's affecting price. A few people have commented in some of my more recent videos where I've talked about price rises or reduction in size of the goods for the same money. So people are seeing it elsewhere. It's not just me. So I guess the point of this, it's not a rant, but the point of this really is to just, as I always do, remind everybody, while things are still available, take the opportunity to top up. Get a long-term supply in, because for sure there is going to be an issue with availability, and absolutely for sure prices are steadily, bit by bit, they're gradually drip feeding everybody. So prices are definitely going up, and whilst I don't do predictions very often, I would predict that by this time next year, whatever it is that you're normally paying when you go to the supermarket, I would hazard a guess you're going to pay at least 25 to 30% more this time next year. So have a little think about how you can offset that, but stock up. Get stuff now while it's available, while it's at the price it's at now, because for sure the price is never going to be coming down for your everyday essentials. It's only going one way, and that's up. So whilst I don't want to be the doom monger, I'm not doing this to panic people. I'm doing this just to say, if you haven't already woken up to the fact that times are changing, and it's going to impact on your personal finances in a big way, then wake up now and try and plan ahead a little bit. and get your little insurance policy in place. You cannot hurt in any way, shape or form by stocking up. You can only make a little insurance policy for your future protection. So do it now. Spend the rest of this year just gradually, wherever you can afford, just adding to your preps. The chickens seem to have calmed down. My coffee's going cold, so I'm going to get it down my neck and get pottering. If there is anything that I think you might be interested in, I will share it, but in all honesty, it is going to be a fairly short video today. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, stay well, and enjoy your time off this weekend. Just taking the chance to do a bit of weeding while the ground is soft. It'll all go on the compost pile. Don't want to lose those. These onions are doing really well, I have to say. And the garlic from last year also. Look at that. That's last year's. That's a little bit early. But not bad. Give it a few more months, I think. I've been tempted to pull one of these up for ages and just not actually got round to it, but that's actually not far off. So at least I know I'll keep that. I won't throw it away. So we'll do a little bit more. I'm going to take a look at the Swedes, because they're getting completely out of control now. All going to seed, I suspect. They're not going to produce that much, but you never know, we'll see. One thing that is producing is the strawberry plants. Look at that. They just keep producing. I've done that bed as well, ready for stuff to go in. But all of these strawberry plants are producing lots of strawberries for me, which is really nice. I just can't help myself. Bon appetit. Just taking a look at these swede, and you can see, I don't know why, I'm guessing it's the weather, they've all gone to seed. And whilst there's lots of foliage growth at the bottom, there's not much in terms of actual swede. They're all going kind of stubby rooted, if that makes sense. So they're tiny. So I think it's time to get all these out, learn the lesson and move on. Which is a shame, but it's not for the chickens, because there's lots of greenery. Well, this is that garden archway I was talking about, and there's millions of these tubes and no instructions, so this should be fun. Well, that's the arches assembled. The burning question now is where to put them. I know I wanted some arches so the plants could grow up them, but I'm in a bit of a dilemma now as to where to put them, because they are tall. They're not going to fit inside the existing polytunnel structure. I mean, the plan was always to take the plastic sheeting off and have it open to the air as a kind of a netting over it and have raised beds in there. I'm just debating now. I could put them at the entrance where the gate is, but it might be a bit restrictive getting things in and out like wheelbarrows. I'll have a ponder over a cup of coffee and think about it. Well, decision made. That's where I've gone for. I've put them over that raised bed and cable tied them together to form one single structure. I'm just debating now. I might put another of those pallet collars on top to deepen that raised bed. Depends really, I guess, what's going in there. I'm thinking peas, beans, that kind of thing. It should be a nice little structure for them to climb up. Or who knows, grapevine maybe. I guess all will be revealed in future videos, but it's in, it's stable, and it's a little job ticked off the list of things to do. That raised bed that had the swede in, I've cleared that out. I've just put a load of chicken manure pellets onto the surface, and I'll just grab a fork now and work that in. Might top it off with a little bit of fresh compost, but that bed will be ready for something to go into. Hopefully those seedlings that are in the garden room, the cauliflowers, will go in there. I've generally tidied up the other raised beds as well, just to get rid of the weeds, because there were quite a few in there. Well, that's that raised bed turned over. It wasn't actually in bad condition, but with that bit of chicken manure mixed in, that should provide enough food for whatever I do end up putting in there. I've been around most of these actually and just dropped a bit of chicken manure in. This one needs a bit more compost in it, and I think I'm tempted to just pull a pallet collar out and just see what it looks like with the second one stacked on top. Well, I've just popped one on. What do you think? Is that a bit too much? I mean, they are quite deep though. They're probably just shy of a foot tall, so that would be a couple of feet. I don't know. What do you think? You'll have to let me know. I'll leave it there for now and see what comments I get, and then I'll make a decision next weekend. Just been watering the chickens' vegetable garden, and I've been feeding the chickens. They've had their first greenery from their little raised bed, and I've got some to take home as well. And I've not really made much of a dent in this bed. There's so much in there. I think I might be tempted to clear this one out next weekend. There's loads in there, look. Yeah, might be tempted to clear that one out and replant that one. We'll see. This rain keeps coming and going. Lots and lots of dark clouds in the sky. So I'm going to get the chicken coop cleaned out, see what eggs they've left for me today, and then I think I'll be calling it a day. So we'll be having some salad sandwiches this week. I've done a bit of watering in the polytunnel, so the tomatoes, the carrots, they're all nicely watered. I should keep them going now until I come down on my after work visit on Tuesday. Popped a couple of marigolds in these spaces. They weren't doing much, so I figured that might attract the pollinating insects in. I've got the vents open on both sides of the polytunnel. I daren't leave the door open. It'll take off. And I've put that little spare cucumber seedling in there as well, just to join these others that are going absolutely crazy now. I'm sure they've grown in the time I've been down here today. So yeah, that's it. Polytunnel's done. All the other watering's done. I just need to get myself closed up, and it'll be time for going home. Can't forget the chicken coop. Must do that now. Just come to sort out the coop, top the water and the feed up, clear this mess up, and they've done me proud. Look at that. 7 eggs today. How good is that? Well, that's another day and another weekend gone. Don't know where the time goes. I certainly don't have enough of it. It would be nice to have this literally outside the door to my house, but unfortunately not. Everything's packed away, locked away, polytunnel's closed. What about that arch? Does it need that extra double depth for the raised bed, or will a single do? You'll have to let me know. I've got my lettuce to take home. We're making some salad sandwiches for my lunches this week. Field's looking okay, grass is down in the middle, that's really good. Not seeing much of the bees today, but the weather's a bit bizarre and it does keep spitting with rain, and I don't think they're liking the rain. They are out, but not as many as usual. And you can just see the odd few popping in and out, but not many. I will have to open that up next weekend, assuming it's not pouring with rain, of course, and take a look, see how they're doing. It's not like there's a shortage of food on the field. Look at all this clover. It is everywhere. Loads of it. And there's lots of other blossoms and flowers as well for them to go at. So they should be fairly happy just floating around here. As I walk to and from the car, I do see them foraging on the clover. In fact, I can see a couple. I wasn't quick enough to get there. Yeah, there's a couple here, look. Now they won't sit still for me. But they are there and enjoying. So, get myself back in the car, get off home, have a shower, and try and get this video out today rather than tomorrow. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. What do you think about that little archway I've put in? I'm hoping that it's sturdy enough to take peas and beans and such like the different climbing vegetables that you might want to grow. But what do you think about putting that extra pallet collar and doubling the depth? Do you think that's necessary or not? What's your experience? Let me know in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.